Welcome everyone, and thanks for clicking on this video. Today we're going to go ahead and review the tarot cards, the basics. So for those of you that are just getting into tarot reading, or maybe you just enjoy having readings done for you, you watch some of these pick a card general readings on YouTube or whatnot, and you just want to get some more information on exactly what each card means. We're going to go through this as quick and simply as possible. Each deck of cards, as you know, come with a booklet that explains each card. The deck that we're going to be using today is called the Robin Wood Tarot. And it's based off the Rider-Waite Tarot. So there's many types of decks out there. So whichever one you have or whichever one you're interested in, as long as it's based off the Rider-Waite Tarot, all the cards mean the same thing. They just sometimes have different illustrations and different pictures, but the meaning of each card remains the same as long as the deck is based off that Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay, so the order that we're gonna go in, we're gonna start with the major arcana because that is usually the most complicated. Then we're going to go into the minor arcana and focus on the court cards. And then we're going to go through each set individually. If you're interested in just one part or one section of the tarot cards, or maybe you can't watch this video in its entirety in one sitting, I will leave some timestamps below for the different sections so you can watch it section by section, or come back and reference it, or fast forward to just watch the section that you're interested in. If you do like this video, I ask that you please like and subscribe. I'll have some more coming out, and don't forget to check out some of my pick a card readings and some of my monthly predictions and monthly angel messages. And I even included some zodiac messages for you guys as well. So don't forget to check out my other videos. All right, blessings to you all. We're going to go ahead and get started. So just a brief overview. The major arcana are the cards here that start with the Fool and end with the World. Okay, so every deck that's based off of the Rider-Waite collection, the Rider-Waite theory, that's how it starts. Now, the major arcana symbolizes the spiritual lessons that we are supposed to learn. That's why it's called the major. So these are big events, big things that's happening in your life that are meant to teach you something. Now, it said that these spiritual lessons, the major arcana cards, you cannot change. These are something that the universe wants you to experience. It's something that is for your highest good. So even if the card may seem negative, know that at the end of it, you will get a blessing out of it. You will become a new person, reborn, let go of the things that are not serving you. So some people do get scared when they get some major arcana cards that seem a little negative, but we're going to go through each card individually and explain that. So the major arcana are spiritual lessons that cannot be changed. It's different from the minor arcana, which are the simple numbers, the 6 of Cups, 2 of Swords, things of that nature. Those can be changed. Those are influences. So if you decide to want to change them, you don't like the way things are looking, those are not set in stone. But the spiritual lessons here that are shown with the major arcana are supposed to be set in stone and not able to change. So I hope you guys are following so far. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Fool here. The Fool card. Okay, it's symbolized by the number 0. Okay, the Fool. You see him on top of a mountain about to walk off a cliff. Really nonchalantly, not paying attention. He's just in his own zone, and the little happy dog is following him. Now, the Fool symbolizes a new beginning, a time to leap, great risk, ignore negativity. It could be a card for an entrepreneur, saying that you have a choice ahead of you to try new things, to be experimental. The Fool, it's not an insult, even though, you know, sometimes when people say a fool, it's usually an insult. In this case, the Fool is basically saying a innocent person, like someone who, not ignorant, but someone who is not affected by what's going on around them. They're just focused on what's ahead, and they know that everything will work out. They're not stressed. They're just positively looking towards the future. They believe everything will work out, and you know that they're protected. And he's walking, almost about to walk off a cliff with no worry in sight. He just has the idea, the mentality that the universe will provide and will protect him for each step he takes. And if he falls, the universe will pick him up. So the Fool is actually a very positive card. Okay, now we're going on to number 1, the Magician. Okay, the Magician. The Magician, number 1. The Magician, you can see he has the little infinity sign right above his hand. It's marked by balance, you know, the white and the black, the judgment here. He has some horns on his head, and as you can see, there's actually all the symbols of all the other of all the minor arcana, excuse me. We have the pentacles here, we have the swords, the cups, and then we have fire. So each of the elements are represented in this card. So this is actually a very good card to get, the Magician. The Magician, the number 1, represents the ultimate time to manifest, working on both practical and spiritual things, tapping into your power, realizing your power and your true potential. It symbolizes a great time for new projects and opportunities. And it's simply letting you know that you can manifest what you need and what you want. So having this card in a reading is very good. It's a positive card. And it's letting you know that at the end of the day, you hold the power. So what you want, what you need, you have the power to bring it about. You have the power to manifest it. That you do have that true power. It's a good time for new projects and opportunities. You need to realize your true potential. And this is both for the practical matters and spiritual matters. So this is a very good card to get in a reading. Okay, number 2, the High Priestess. Okay, the High Priestess. Here we see the moon in the background. She's holding a crystal. She's reading a book. Is represented by the number 2. Seems very magical. The High Priestess represents spiritual openings, your psychic awareness, your intuition, your higher consciousness. See, the High Priestess may be that you may start to see see synchronicities, like seeing repetitive numbers, patterns, and it basically is telling you. It's letting you know that to use your intuition and to trust your intuition to solve whatever issues are at hand. So if you're having an issue or a problem, or you ask a question and the tarot reader ends up pulling up one of these cards, the High Priestess, it means that you need to use your intuition. You truly know the correct answer. You know which path you should take. You know what you should do next. That you do have psychic awareness. You need to use your intuition, your own judgment, and don't be afraid of that. And some say that this card can also represent the Pisces zodiac, because it is mystical, magical, mysterious, In some cards, in some decks and illustrations, there may be water surrounding it, so it may represent a water sign. But that's a little more, that goes a little more complicated. We're just trying to cover some of the basics for the beginners. So if you get this card, it is good. Psychic awareness, intuition, your higher consciousness, and that to use your intuition to solve your issues. You do have the answer. You just need to tap into it and trust it. Okay, moving on. Number 3, the Empress. As you can see here, it's a lady. She looks pregnant. If you can kind of see, she has a belly here, a little bulge. She looks happy and content, and she's working on her thing. You see the female symbol behind her. She looks very happy. There's a harvest. She got a harvest right here. So she's just enjoying herself. She's comfortable. Now, pulling the Empress card, the number 3, it can mean fertility. It can mean a pregnancy, but that will be based upon what other cards are around it. So it may not mean exactly that you are going to have a child. It can symbolize someone around you may be pregnant, or someone around you may have a child, or it simply can mean the birth of a new project, or a birth of a new circumstance, new income, something positive, the birth of something new. It also symbolizes material balance with creativeness. It can symbolize a powerful mother type woman, working from home, being patient while your seeds grow, or it could also mean a relationship blooming. Some readers believe that this card can also be a symbol for the Libra zodiac sign. But mainly the overall message of it is the birth of something new. Well balanced, happy, content, comfortable. So it is a positive card, because she's sitting there patiently using her machine. You see the harvest behind her. She's just happy and in her own little world. So this is a positive card. It means birthing something new. Something new, or a mother type person may have an influence in your life, or you may have some other type traits that it wants you to focus on at that reading. Okay, moving on. The Emperor. Now, the Emperor is one of the cards that can be both good and negative. It depends on what other cards surround it. This card does represent the Aries zodiac sign. This is the main card of the Aries zodiac. But aside from that, it represents a masculine person. It does not necessarily mean a male, because we both have masculine and feminine within us. So this card is targeting and focusing on the masculine qualities. An authoritative person. So depending on what it is you're asking, depending on what the other reading is, it may symbol that maybe you need to tap into more of your masculine side. You need to be more, take more authority. You need to be more emperor-like. But then the downside of the card, the negative meanings of the card, can mean that you're allowing someone of this masculine authoritative energy take your power. This person may be symbolized in the reading as having power over you. This someone making you feel powerless. It may be a partner, an ex, someone who is very dominating, or falling into lust, saying that you need more discipline. So this card is really, it can be both positive or negative depending on what the situation is in the reading, what question is being asked, and what other questions are and what other cards are surrounding it. But the overall energy of this card is a masculine, authoritative person. So it could be either that you are that person or someone around you is this person with these qualities. And it could be both good or bad depending on those surrounding cards. Okay, number 5, the Hierophant. This is the card that represents the Taurus zodiac sign. Okay, it is this guy that has this man who has power. He has his 2 fingers raised up to the ceiling, the universe, and he has 2 little innocent children praying next to him. So this is a card of power. Okay, this is a very powerful card. The Hierophant represents wisdom, spiritual insight, solutions. The solutions that you seek will be found through the spiritual realm. You seek your answers in spirituality rather than in the practical world. It's also reminding you to stay true to your real self. Meditate and pray to find those answers that you are looking for. And maybe it can also mean that maybe you need to seek a teacher, someone who has these qualities. Maybe you need to seek someone who is wise and who has the spiritual insight that you're needing at this time of this reading. Okay, now we're moving on. 6, the Lover's card. This card represents the Gemini sign because of the twins. So it can mean, it can also depict a twin flame connection or your soul partner, something along those lines. But the Lover's card generally means issues of the heart, a spiritual union. Your relationship can become more harmonious. It can also mean that you're weighing a decision, that you need to follow your heart. You need to be more in love. But it is, if you are asking about love and a relationship, pulling the Lover's card is a positive card for both love and relationship. Okay, so issues of the heart. It represents issues of the heart, a spiritual union, a positive card for love and relationship, saying that they may be more harmonious. But it can also mean that you're weighing a decision and you need to follow your heart. See, one is holding the sun, the other one is holding the moon. So that could be your option, what you need to choose between. Okay. Moving on, we have the Chariot, represented by the number 7. The Chariot is a card that represents the zodiac sign Cancer. But the general overall meaning of the card is an opportunity to move forward. It's represented by a man sitting in a chariot being pulled by both a black unicorn and a white unicorn. And it has the peace symbol, the yin and the yang in the center. And they are both, it looks like they are both trying to head in opposite directions. So it can also mean that you need to focus. Maybe you feel kind of torn between 2 things, or you're thinking about 2 things at once. So it's telling you to ignore the distractions, ignore the drama, and focus and plan. Because if you have these 2 animals pulling in opposite directions, you're not going to get anywhere. But as long as you can focus and keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on what you want, there is that opportunity to move forward. There is a possible victory ahead. There is great success ahead if you focus. So you need to forge forward. Do not give up. Do not get distracted. Do not let your emotions overpower you, and stay disciplined. This is a good card saying that there is hope, and you can achieve what it is that you desire, but you need to focus. because you have a lot of distractions, and if you do not tune that stuff out, then you're only making it harder for yourself. So this is a card saying that you are in control, but it all depends on what your next move is. Are you going to focus and forge forward, or are you going to easily get distracted by what's surrounding you and then stay where you're at? Okay, now we're going to move on. Number 8, the Strength card. The Strength card is always illustrated with a woman trying to tame a lion. Okay, and she's not doing so by being forceful, being aggressive. She's doing it with a smile on her face and being loving. So, since there's a lion here, this is a card that represents the Leo zodiac. The number 8 is strength. And it's saying that to take your power back. Maintain your strength, maintain your power. To appease your fears. Something may seem very difficult. You may be afraid of something, but you're stronger than you think. So maintain that balance, have that willpower, that courage, and that love. You can overcome anything with love. That you do possess that true power to overcome any obstacle, any beast that may be in front of you, so to say. And you can progress to what you want as long as you hold on to your power. And you get rid of those fears. Do not let fear get the best of you, because you are stronger than you think. So you just have to maintain strong, remain strong, have that willpower and that courage to push forward. So getting the Strength card is a very positive card. Okay, number 9, we have the Hermit. The Hermit is a card that represents the Virgo zodiac sign, number 9. Now, some people kind of get weary when they get the Hermit card, because in some of them the image is a little more gloomy. But the Hermit is not necessarily a negative card. The Hermit is basically simply telling you that this is a time that you need to take for solitude. You need to quiet your mind to find the solutions that you seek. This is a time for healing. So you need some alone time, some me time to clear your mind, reset, and focus on what is in you. The answers that you seek are within, but only if you take that quiet time for yourself. And don't fear alone time. Sometimes people do not like to be alone, but sometimes it's what we need. It's telling you it's time to withdraw, to rely on yourself, to find those answers, to find the solutions. Now, if the reading is negative and it's surrounded by a whole bunch of other negative cards, then it can also mean that you are feeling alone, you're feeling unsupported, you feel like nobody is there for you, like you've been left behind. That can also be an interpretation. But overall, it's letting you know that you need some alone time. You need some time to quiet your mind and focus on what you want. Clear the noise within your mind to find the solutions, because you do have the answers within yourself. Or it could be that you just need this time for healing. If you've been hurt, if something is going on, you just need to take this time to yourself to heal internally and maybe externally. Okay? Number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, as you see, can both be good and bad. The overall general meaning of it is a very positive card, because it's fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, positive good luck. But you see up here, you have some very happy faces. Then you have some kind of mellow, normal faces, and then down here you have some despair, some upset, some angst. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is the number 10. 10 in numerology usually symbolizes a completion of something. But overall, the Wheel of Fortune card represents a card of destiny. This is telling you that something is teaching you a lesson to better yourself. So if it's surrounded by some negative cards and you get this, it's basically telling you that whatever this situation is, you may not like it, but it's there to teach you a lesson to better yourself. It's there to teach you a lesson to be more open-minded, to let go of control, and to just let destiny happen. And if you can do that, then good fortune, good luck does await you at the end. It does await you once this is done. Once you can relinquish the control, let go of the control, and just let destiny take its course. We don't always have control over our future. We very seldom do. So that can be some of the kind of, it's not a negative card, but not the so positive, you know. But this card does have a very positive meaning. So if it's surrounded by a lot of other cards, such as pentacles and cups, which both represent happiness and financial matters, then this card can mean good fortune coming your way. A good grow and flow of good luck and finances, or happiness and love. So this is one of the cards where you have to really pay attention to what other cards are surrounding it, and then it will determine whether it's signifying good fortune and good luck, or if it's letting you know that you need to relinquish control and let destiny take its course, because whatever is going on in your life at that moment is there to teach you a lesson for your highest good. Is there to help you in the long run, not to harm you. Okay, now we have number 11, the Justice card. This card is the official card of the Libra zodiac. Now, the Justice card is a law of attraction card. It represents both fair and balanced. It can represent legal documents and contracts to be signed. Obviously, you know, if people are dealing with a court case, it's justice, legal system, legal matters. But it's basically telling you to allow balance. Maybe the past is influencing the present, what's going on right now. And then it's a card of self-reflection. And the question you need to ask yourself are, what seeds are you sowing? Because this is the Justice card. So it is also connected to karma. So when you get this card, you need to ask yourself, what seeds are you sowing? Is it something that's going to bring positivity in the future? Or is it something that's trying to cause somebody harm? Because at the end of the day, justice will be served. Things will be balanced out. So you need to pay attention what you are putting out into the universe. Okay, so this is not a positive or negative card. This is just kind of like a wake up, a reminder to think and to reflect on what are we doing. Are we being fair and balanced in the situation? Is someone being fair and balanced with us? If they are not, then don't fret, because things will balance itself out. Justice will be served in the end. But however, if it's us being unfair and unbalanced, then we may end up seeking some karmic consequences, because things will eventually become balanced and fair and just. So just to keep in mind, what are we sowing? What seeds are we sowing, and what are we putting out into the universe? Okay, moving on is the Hanged Man. This is a card, it's represented by the number 12. And some people kind of get a little weary and scared when they receive this card, because it's obviously a person hanging upside down. But it's not necessarily a negative card. You guys need to keep in mind that these are when you get a tarot reading, it's basically a warning, it's a prediction, it's an overall reading of what is going on. It's going off of your energy. So the Hangman usually means to not resist, to surrender yourself. He's hanging upside down, but he's not upset. He's not scared. It's not a look of being scared or being upset or angry. But he's also not happy or excited. So this is kind of just a mellow card, and it's just letting you know to just be still. Do not resist whatever situation is going on right now. Just surrender yourself. It also represents that right now, this is not a time for action. So if you're kind of torn between two different options, or two different people, two different jobs, something where you have to choose and you're kind of feeling indecisive, this card is letting you know that this is not the time right now for you to make that decision. To just be patient, because there's details still unfolding, but your answers are coming. Okay, it's not time to leave. It's not time to start something new. It's a time to just be still and be patient, because things are still unfolding around you, and then you will have the answers that you seek. So you just need to allow that wisdom to come to you. And it can also mean that you feel bound to a relationship or to a situation where you're feeling indecisive. But just be patient, because the time is coming and you will be able to have the information that you need to make a good decision. Okay. 13. This is the card that a lot of people fear, but it does not necessarily mean death. Okay? It does not mean you are going to die or someone you know is going to die. It's the official card of the Scorpio, which is represented by the number 13. What the death is simply representing is transformation, change. Okay, depending on your beliefs, things in this universe never really truly die. You may die to your body, the vessel that we're all in right now, but your soul moves on to something else. So it doesn't mean that you are going to die or someone you know is going to die. It means that there is a transformation, a time for change. It can symbolize letting go of things that no longer are working. It can be a warning that you need to change some things that are no longer working. Maybe you need to let go of some people. You need to let go of a situation. You need new growth. It's time to let the past go. The past and the old go. It can symbolize an end of a relationship, but it can also symbolize a new relationship, a new transformation, something new coming. And the end of old patterns. So you need to have a new perspective on things. You need to change the way you act, change the way you respond. Don't continue those same patterns that have not served you and got you the best results in the past. You need to be able to embrace change and to not resist the change and the transformation, because this is a lesson that you need to learn to get to your highest potential, to get to your true desires and what is needed in your life. So when you get this card, don't look at it as a negative card. If anything, think of it as a positive card, because it's letting you know that whatever change and transformation is going on now is going to serve you in the end. It's meant for your highest good, and it is going to bring you good things, but you have to be willing to change and transform. Okay, number 14, the Temperance card. This card is represented by the number 4, and it's the official card of Sagittarius. Now you see you got one foot in the water, one foot on the land. He's standing there very angelic with his hands facing upwards. Now this card represents patience. That you need to have patience because whatever it is that you're seeking, your plans may be moving slow. But to be patient because the seeds are growing. As you see in the background here, the sun is rising up. It's a card to remind you to think long term. It's a reassurance that you are moving in the right direction, but you need to be patient. You need to allow things to unfold. It can suggest that a relationship will teach you something, or that you should focus on teaching or learning something right now. Okay, so this is just a card of basically your temperament, having patience. That things are not moving as fast as you want, but to just be aware that things are growing. Things are being harvested and they will unfold soon, but you need to be patient. You need to just hold on a little longer and you will see what you want. Okay, number 15. This is the Devil card, and it's also the official card of the Capricorn. Usually this card is a negative card. It's a card to bring something to your attention. It's a card to let you know that there are temptations around you, maybe dealing with addictions, old patterns, unforgiveness, blockages. It can symbolize worrying, that you have too many bindings, too many things holding you down. You may be falling into lust, trying to have too much control, being egotistical. It can also symbolize someone who is blocking you from moving forward. They're trying to pull a power play over you, not allowing you to win. But these things, all of these things, temptations, addictions, unforgiveness, worrying, lust, bindings, all of that stuff only have power if you give it. Anyone can break an addiction. Anyone can turn down a temptation, but you need to have that willpower in order to do so. You need to have that willpower, that courage to be your own person, to be that strong person, to break these bindings, to break these karmic attachments, break these old habits, old patterns, to move forward into a more positive light. So this is just a card symbolizing some of the negative influences around your life, letting you know why things maybe not be progressing the way that you want, and letting you know that you have, at the end of the day, you do have the power to move forward, but only if you gain that self-control and that willpower. Okay, number 16 is the Tower. It is basically symbolizing and saying that a breakdown of weak foundations. It can be something shocking is going to be coming to the surface. Something unexpected that may disrupt your patterns. But it's telling you that whatever breakdown, whatever foundation is being broken down, there's an opportunity to rebuild. Whenever something breaks, whenever something gets destroyed, it's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for rebuilding. So do not be a victim. Whatever this unexpected disruption is, this unexpected news, this unexpected situation, do not fear it. Just know that you can heal if it hurts you. And it can let you know that maybe even though something did not break down, or something has not been, your pattern may have not been disrupted yet, it's just telling you to take a look at the bigger picture, because maybe some rebuilding is needed. Maybe it hasn't come to the such dramatic effect where it impacted your life yet, but it's something that you need to pay attention to, because it's letting you know that this is something that needs to be changed, something that you need to rebuild, that you need to get more stability, that you need to make it stronger, because it is weak and it can break, and it will disturb you if you don't pay attention and do what needs to be done to either change it, make it better, or do something new altogether. Okay, number 17 is the Star. The Star is the official card of the Aquarius, and it's basically saying that there is peace after the storm. This is a very positive card. It's letting you know that there is new hope, life is falling back in place, and the danger has passed. This is number 17, which is followed right after the Tower card. So whatever it is that needed to be rebuilt, whatever struggles were going on, this is letting you know that this is the peace after the storm, the hope. Everything is falling back into place, and that danger has passed. You're no longer struggling. Wishes will soon be fulfilled. You have a sense of freedom, love. And if this is in a love reading or a question about a partner or a relationship, it can symbolize that it is a good relationship, that this is the right person, or this is the right reason for doing something. So this is a very positive card. Okay, number 18, the Moon. This is the official card of the Pisces zodiac. You have two animals howling at the moon in the dark by some water. It's a very mystical, magical, mysterious card. This card represents a descent into the underworld. So it's telling you to pay attention to your dreams. You may receive answers in your dreams. You may have had some strange dreams. So it's telling you to really pay attention to what was happening in those dreams, because it may have some answers, may have some insight. The dreams may be there to tell you something. It's letting you know that you are more in control and not to be afraid. Maybe to pay attention more to your shadow side, which are some of, the things that we like to keep hidden. Don't make any sudden moves. Okay, there may be some challenges, but to face yourself. Heal your soul, and don't let fears and stuff take over. It's just saying that, it's just a very saying that some things may come to light, and it can also mean that some things are hidden. So this is another card where you need to see what the surrounding cards are around it. But overall, it's letting you know that this is a very spiritual card. It deals with the underworld, your dreams, your unconscious mind, and your soul. So just not to be afraid, to pay attention, tap into your intuition, and really try to see what your unconscious mind is trying to tell you, what your inner self is trying to tell you or reveal to you. Okay, now we have number 19, the Sun. This is a very positive card. Now this card can also represent the Leo zodiac, because it is the sun, which is a sun, and the Leo is a sun sign. So it can be that Leo zodiac or that courageous, strong Leo energy. But overall, the card, the Sun, it is giving a message of light and joy. It's telling you that this is your time to shine. The dark times are over, as it comes right after the moon. So then those dark times are over. It's time to be creative, time to shine, let yourself flourish, embrace your blessings. Blessings are coming to you. Have self-confidence, that you are safe and nurtured. And this is a card that can also mean and represent a new child or pregnancy if it's surrounded by other fertility cards. such as the Empress, which we had spoke about earlier. Okay, it's letting you know that there's blessings coming your way. If this card is drawn in a love or relationship reading, it's letting you know that this is a very good relationship. That partner is good and will be nurturing, and it is safe, and it is blessed. If you are asking a yes or no question and you get the Sun, the answer is a for sure yes. This is a very positive card. This card has no negative meanings. So it's letting you know that everything is coming to fruition. You have blessings coming in. It's your time to shine and be creative. Let that light shine. Be joyous. And all those dark times and struggles are over. Number 20, the Judgment card. Now, this card is basically symbolizing a moment of truth, an honor calling, a spiritual awakening. It's letting you know that honesty is required in this situation. It's letting you know that the truth will be revealed in due time. So to reflect and try to have clarity on the situation. Is letting you know to let things go. It can symbolize deep karmic bonds. But overall, it's letting you know that judgment. This is the moment of truth. The truth will be revealed. Whatever was hidden will be brought to light. Whatever answers you seek will present themselves. It's telling you to tap into your spirituality, to kind of reflect, to gain some clarity. The answers may be within you. It may be that you know the answers, but you're trying to suppress it because it's not necessarily what you want to do at the moment or something you want to admit to. But that truth is going to come to the surface. So to let go of negativity, let go of fears, and embrace the honesty, embrace the truth, because that time of judgment is coming. Okay? And now, number 21, the World. This is a full completion. It's a full completion cycle. So if you get this, that means all your spiritual lessons have been learned for the time being. Or maybe you learned all you needed to in this job. You've learned all you needed to with this relationship. So this is saying that this is the end of something. You've completed some cycle. So it's letting you know that it's a joyous card, happiness. It's also letting you know that you have mastered something in your life. Maybe you've mastered a skill, mastered a talent, mastered a class. You know, you've mastered these spiritual lessons that you needed. You've mastered forgiveness, things of that nature. You feel a sense of fulfillment and success. Is letting you know to embrace and that you are free to love. It can also represent travel if it's surrounded by other travel cards, which travel cards are usually have imagery of water. So if there's a lot of other cards surrounding it that have water in it, then it can also symbolize travel. Okay? If this is regarding a relationship or love or a partner, it can symbolize an overseas partner, that you will be traveling overseas. Maybe you may meet someone from overseas. Maybe on a vacation you may meet somebody, or somebody is on a vacation by you. You guys may cross paths. But in a love reading, it's saying that it's a good relationship. Things are positive. So this is a very positive card. Okay, so now we're all completed with the major arcana. Next, we're going to go into the court cards. Basically, the court cards, there's 4 court cards in every section. So we have wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And each group represent different things. Now, the wands, so just to recap, to give you a brief understanding overall. Wands they mean fire. It means physical action. Cups represent water, the water signs. It means emotions, things that deal with the heart. Swords is the air element. It means ideas, thoughts, our mentality, how we perceive things. And pentacles means money, finances. It also means nature and earth. Okay, so in each of these cards, so we're going to start with the wands. Okay, so in each of the cards, in each of the court cards, there's always a page, a knight, a queen, and a king. Okay, there's always these 4 cards, the 4 characters, a page, a knight, a queen, and a king. Now, the page is usually a child, anywhere between child years or teen years, if it is representing a person. Okay, each of these cards can have 2 meanings. It can represent a person, depending what other cards surround it, or it can mean a situation, depending on what other cards are around it. So, if you want to know if this is referring to a person or a situation, you would go ahead and pull another tarot card as a clarifier. So let's say you've got the page. Don't pay attention to the wands or the cups or anything like that right now. Just if you got a page card. From one of the court cards, it was a page card. You want to know if this is representing a child, a teenager, a person within those years, or if this is representing a situation. So you would draw another card, you would shuffle the cards and ask, is this a person or a situation? Now, if you pull another court card, it doesn't matter if it's a queen, a king, a knight. If it is another court card, another character, it is representing a person. If you pull any other card, it is representing a situation. So if it's a wand, you pull a wand card or a sword card and it's not a knight, queen, or king or another page, then it is a situation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into what the court cards mean. So we have the Page of Wands. Okay, the page means new. If it's a person, like I said, it's a child. It can be between a newborn up until teenage years. So a young person. Or it can represent someone who is very childlike, very immature, things like that. Page can also mean in a situation that news is coming in. So that's why you need to kind of get that clarifier to then see which meaning is best represented. So for this particular one, wands represent fire, the fire element, fire signs, and it also represents action. But this particular card, the Page of Wands, it is representing a child, a fiery person, impulsive, energetic, someone who needs to be outdoors. Okay, if it is a situation, it is letting you know that good news is coming in, to have a new perspective. Maybe you feel like a student, maybe you're learning something. Can represent travel if surrounded by other travel cards. It can mean trying something new, broadening your horizons, kind of being more open-minded. But overall, it is a positive card. Okay. Now, the Knight of Wands. The Knight symbolizes anyone from a teen up until about 30 years old. And it has this age range basically saying that you are more mature than a child, but you have not reached your full peak of maturity yet. Okay, so it's anyone between a teen to 30 years. So usually is a symbol of a young person. Okay, so if it is representing a person in the reading, it can be someone who is ambitious, who loves a challenge, pursues challenges. But if it is a situation, it can be a big move for your home or your career, some type of positive movement forward, a new job, travel, a change in a direction. But if this is in a love reading, it can mean that the relationship may be more physical. It can mean the person is not ready to commit, loves the chase and the adventure, because again, we are talking about a younger adult, someone who's not reached full maturity. So they may not necessarily know what they want. They may be very ambitious and passionate, but they may not be ready to commit. It may be more physical than anything else. You know, this is someone who still has some things to learn. They have not reached their peak yet. Okay? Now we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen is it usually is a woman, or can represent the feminine energy, and it's usually someone 30 years or older. Okay, so if you pull the Queen of Wands and it is representing a person, it means this feminine energy or this woman is impulsive, fiery, loves a challenge. She's very strong. She prefers action. She's a great manifester, loves physical action, and very intuitive. Okay, negative qualities of the Queen of Wands could be someone who is very impatient, someone takes a lot of risk, who enjoys adventure, very passionate and competitive, can be someone who is defensive and has a temper. And if this person is hurt, can be emasculating. So it's someone on both sides. You know, again, it depends on what cards are surrounding it. If it is a situation, it can be letting you know that you need to stop procrastinating and actually take more action. To embrace the qualities of the Queen of Wands, to be more impulsive, to be stronger, intuitive, to achieve what you want, be more ambitious, to take some risk, things of that nature. And the King of Wands. Now the King is similar, someone who has reached their full maturity. It's usually a man or someone with very intense masculine energy who is 30 years or older. Now, if this is a person, this can represent a warrior, someone who is very confident and energetic, someone who is brutally honest, someone who needs to be physically active, someone who gets restless very easily, someone who is stubborn. Can be someone who is headstrong and impatient, and it could be someone who lacks compassion. Okay, but if this is a situation, it's letting you know that you need more self-confidence. You need to take more action to move forward. You need to pick up your energy levels and ignite that passion. You need to take action to succeed. All right. Now moving on, we're going to go into the court cards, the cup court cards. Okay, same thing, page, your child or teen. If this is a person, well, the cups, to recap real quick, again, is the water elements, and it represents emotions, things of the heart. So if it is representing a child, this child may be dreamy, artistic, intuitive, or sensitive. Okay, if this is representing a situation, it is letting you know that a new offer is coming in that could open your heart. It can represent reconciliation and joy. It's a positive offer. It can be news in a career or a job. And it also an offer of love will soon be made. So that is a positive card. The Knight of Cups. Again, this can be a teenager to a young adult to about 30. Again, these are just rough estimates of the age range. So just, take it as it is. If you're dealing with a person who's a year older, a year younger, you just use your own judgment. You truly know what it's representing or what it's referring to in your reading. Okay, so the Knight of Cups, if it is a person, it is a dreamy person, sensitive, someone who's in touch with their emotions, and spiritually curious. Okay, if this is a situation, it can be signifying a movement forward of the dreams. An offer from someone who's opening up your creative side, who's inspiring you. It can mean inspiring, passionate projects. It can represent music, art, magical mystery. And in a relationship, it can mean that this is a very passionate relationship or partner, but that this can be a short-lived relationship. This is not a long-term relationship. It may just be a fling or something that may come and go. Okay, the Queen of Cups. This is dealing with a woman or someone with very high feminine energy. If it is representing a person, it means that this woman or this feminine energy is very intuitive, very artistic, creative, sensitive, compassionate. They have traits of a healer or nurturer. Okay? And if it is a situation, it can be that you're following your spiritual path, or maybe you need to follow your spiritual path. You need to be more heart-centered. Stop being so oversensitive. You need to be forgiving. And maybe you need to express yourself through art and creativity. Okay? And we have the King of Cups. So if this is a man or masculine energy, if this is a person, is letting you know that this person is very soulful, spiritual, artistic, loving, can be an excellent friend, has someone who has a genuine desire to understand. Now, if this is a situation, it can mean to embrace your more creative side, honor the heart and the spirit, that you are happiest when creating. Wounds can run deep and it can be hard to forgive and let go of the past. And maybe you need to listen instead of trying to dominate. Okay, if this is, if you're asking a question regarding love or a partner and this comes up, it can mean that partner or this love is going to be very romantic and passionate. Okay, now we're going on to the swords. The swords represents air energy, okay, or air signs, and it resembles our thoughts, our mentality, our fears. Okay, page, if this is a child, it can mean a child who is very quick thinking and full of ideas. If this is a situation, it can mean that you're having big ideas. You need to do a little more planning. It can represent travel plans, receiving news of ideas. It's also letting you know maybe it's time to move away from fairy tales and to have more practical expectations in love. Okay, if you pull the Knight of Swords, and this is referring to a person, the person can be very swift thinking, dynamic, high energy, feel like they're ready to conquer the world with ideas, but then they easily get bored. Okay, if this is a situation, It can mean possible travel. You feel the need to charge ahead. You can be a moderator, or you need to moderate a situation. It can represent that this is a time for quick action to move forward. You cannot hesitate. And the feel that you're rushing around too much, and maybe you need some grounding. Okay, and if this card comes up in a love reading or regarding a partner, it can mean that this person is kind of hit and miss, dashing in and out and not ready to commit. Okay, the Queen of Swords. So if this is dealing with a woman or someone with very high feminine energy, it can mean that this person has powerful intellect, logic and reason, quick-minded, someone who's a planner. It can also mean someone that lacks spontaneity because they, everything must be planned. Everything must be rational. All the I's must be dotted. All the T's must be crossed. Okay, they're a very rational person. Okay, if this is a situation, it can mean that you need to release yourself from the past. Cut the ties. Cut off the cords. Use your mind. That you need to get organized and plan more logically. You need to cut out any fears. And you need to use your intellect and your mind as a weapon. Do not rush into love. It can mean that if it's a person and this is regarding a love relationship or a partner, it can symbolize that this person needs an intellectual match. They can find it and this person can find it difficult to relax and have fun. Okay, the King of Swords. If this is a man or someone with very masculine energy, it can mean that this person has powerful intellect. They can be shrewd. Someone of an academic, very high education, very smart, very intelligent. Careful analysis. Okay, someone who plans. Someone who thinks a lot. It can be a very stubborn person who does not take risk. And someone who can be intolerant of other people's ideas if they are not like their own. This person can be impatient, but this person can also teach you a lot. But this person lives more in the mind and not in the heart. This person is more cautious. Okay, if it is a situation, it can mean that maybe you need to be more cautious. You need to get more organized. You need to think before you act. You need to assess all the risk. You need careful planning. Okay, it's time to be very cautious and to find weak points in your new ideas or projects. Okay. Now moving on to the Pentacles. Okay, Pentacles represent the earth signs, the earth elements. It can represent finance, money, business, nature, earth, material matters. Okay, if you pull the Page of Pentacles and it's representing a child, it can mean that this person is very practical, the person who likes to save a lot, a born entrepreneur, someone who enjoys being outdoors. Okay, if this is a situation, it can mean good news is coming in. Maybe you need to learn something new, or you are learning something new. There are new opportunities for better income and money, new opportunities for business. And in a love relationship or partner, it can mean that there is a new beneficial relationship coming on. Or it can mean that you will have a stronger commitment from that person, or you may be willing to commit better. So the Page of Pentacles is a very good card. Knight of Pentacles. If this is a person, it can mean that this person's main focus is building their career. Okay? They may be less romantic and more practical because their priority is their money, is their finances, is their stability, their work. So they may not be as passionate and romantic because their job, building a career, a foundation is their main focus. Which is not always a negative thing, because maybe after they have accomplished that good foundation, they have that good income, then maybe they can feel that they can commit and they can, be more interested in a family or a partner, because now they feel that they have that security to be able to provide. Okay, if this is a situation, it can mean moving forward to be able to master your finances. It can mean something is progressing well. Okay, it can symbolize a stable home and financial security. Okay, if you pull the Queen of Pentacles, and this is representing a woman or someone with very high feminine energy, it can mean some earthy woman, a woman who cares about financial security, practical matters, feminine who likes animals, who gets her value from work, a woman who has mastered finance and career. Okay, if this is a situation, it can mean some solid advice. You need to be more practical, or maybe you need to manage your money better. Okay, you need to maintain that home stability or focus on that home stability. It can mean maybe you need to get out in nature more, spend more time in earth and in nature. If this is a relationship or love reading, it can mean a more committed long-term relationship. It can mean to support your partner's career. And then we have last, the King of Pentacles. Okay, the King of Pentacles, if this is a man or a masculine energy, if this is a person, it means this person is wise in business, very practical and steady. They believe in slow and steady wins, and they built their wealth, they built their business. They is someone who cares about providing security for family. It can also be someone is a workaholic. Okay, again, someone who is more focused on working to provide that stability at home, to provide that solid foundation. Okay, if it is a situation, it can be a warning to look more into your deeper insecurities. Okay, make sure that you're not worrying about work and money more than you are anything else in your life. Everything requires balance. So you need to balance your work, your money, your love, your emotions, your thoughts. Everything should have a balance. Okay? Or it can symbolize that maybe now it's time for you to start thinking and taking action about building your nest egg, building your solid foundation, your stability at home. Okay, making sure that you are being practical and not rushing, that you are being slow and steady to grow those seeds and bring those things into fruition. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed part 1, which was the major arcana and the court cards. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. There will be more coming out. If you're ready for part 2, go ahead and click for the next video. It will be labeled part 2, where we will go ahead and discuss all 4 of the minor arcana groups, and we'll go through each card one by one. If you need to reference back to this video, there are some timestamps below to let you know when we start talking about the major arcana and when we start talking about the court cards. I hope this was very educational and informative for you and will help you with your future tarot readings, understanding, or doing them. Blessings to you all. Until next time, hope to see you in part 2 of the video.